What if the pain you've been living with isn't something you just have to endure? What if the solution isn't more medication, but more understanding? Chronic pain affects over 50 million Americans. It looks different for everyone. Back pain, migraines, fibromyalgia, neuropathy, but the impact is universal. For many, conventional treatments provide limited relief and often come with serious side effects.
I've worked with people in chronic pain for over 30 years, and I found that most of them have relied primarily on pharmaceutical or surgical solutions, but there's a whole world of treatments out there that most people have never heard of that I educate them about.
Natural and integrative pain treatments are not fringe. They are increasingly supported by science and clinical success. But access, awareness, and insurance coverage remain barriers for many patients.
So right now I'm 38 years old and I have an autoimmune disease, and I also live with chronic pain every day. But it wasn't until I had my son that I realized that I was just masking the symptoms as opposed to really getting to the root cause of what was going on. When you live with chronic pain, you almost get used to that just being your normal. But I encourage anyone who thinks that that's normal to recognize that it's not and that you don't have to live this way. There are a lot of alternative options out there for you. You just have to find what the best fit is for you, what's right for you.
There is hope. Therapies like acupuncture, chiropractic, massage, nutritional approaches, and herbal medicine have been used for centuries, and scientific studies continue to support their effectiveness. And pain isn't just physical. Unresolved trauma, chronic stress, and emotional repressions can keep pain locked in the body. The mind-body connection plays a critical role in healing.
So the mind-body connection affects chronic pain in quite a few different ways. The first one is when you're in stress, when you're in fight or flight. There's a physiology that goes with that to do with increased muscle tension. And if you have a history of trauma and your trauma hasn't been properly processed, you're holding a lot of the emotional energy of that trauma in your body. Also, your brain can just get stuck on pain. Long after your tissues are healed, your brain could just keep sending that pain signal.
Mind-body therapies, including biofeedback, neurofeedback, somatic therapy, and energy psychology, are helping patients finally break free. And new technologies are taking pain relief to the next level.
Red light therapy, pulsed electromagnetic frequency therapy, Calmare scrambler therapy, vagus nerve stimulation. All of these therapies have incredible benefits at the cellular level, and people are turning their lives around with these innovative therapies.
A new model is here, a trusted, accessible resource that connects patients with verified providers in complementary and alternative care.
Because I live with rare diseases, I found that having access to the proper providers and providers that were able to treat me was very important. I realized that just because someone was a neurologist didn't mean that they treated all neurological conditions. You had to have access to people who could provide the options for you and also knew about the disease that you're living with. The same options don't work for everybody. We all need to find the things that work for us. The directory gives people hope and lets them know that there's tools, resources, and providers out there that are able to help them. This is a game changer.
Safe Project is a national nonprofit dedicated to ending the addiction epidemic in the U.S. Their support highlights a critical link between chronic pain and opioid misuse, and why education around natural pain options is so urgent.
The main driver for us is to do everything we can to reduce the number of opioids that are prescribed and only prescribe them when they're necessary. And so as a result, we can avoid the number of addictions, number of opioid use disorders, as well as the building of a tolerance that might lead to an opioid dependency. The best resource that's out there and the one we wholeheartedly support is the Alternative Pain Treatment Directory. It provides individuals not only with the awareness of non-opioid solutions, but resources and techniques and more information so that someone can find a resource or find an alternative to an opioid that best meets their needs.
The growing awareness around non-pharmaceutical solutions isn't just about pain relief. It's about transforming lives and restoring hope for millions caught in the crosshairs of chronic pain and dependence. The Alternative Pain Treatment Directory offers education and resources for those seeking natural pain relief. It features informative articles, recommended products, and a nationwide directory of holistic providers.
I'm a licensed clinical social worker and a certified biofeedback practitioner, and I have a very strong mission to help people with chronic pain because with my own experience, I know how hard it can be to find the right therapy, and you really need to get to the root of the problem. People usually don't do that when they go to conventional medicine.
Whether you're dealing with back pain, fibromyalgia, arthritis, neuropathy, migraines, or pain that no one seems to understand, the Alternative Pain Treatment Directory can help you discover what else is possible. You don't have to settle for a life of pain, pills, or hopelessness. There are natural, innovative, and research-supported therapies that can help.
So if you're feeling lost in terms of ever getting out of your pain, I encourage you to go to the Alternative Pain Treatment Directory at paintreatmentdirectory.com. By becoming more informed, you can get to the root of your pain problem and get yourself on the path to healing.
Exploring all your options can be the first step toward lasting relief.